Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Friday, August 6th. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We start off today with an important update from Governor Mike DeWine, who has given us his first press conferences today in quite some time about the state of COVID-19 here in Ohio. The top of the conversation was the Delta variant. Governor DeWine was talking about how the Delta variant is everywhere in Ohio and is urging more people to get vaccinated. Part of the press conference included Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff. He's the Chief Medical Officer for the Ohio Department of Health. He said that Delta spreads like wildfire and it seeks out anyone who is not vaccinated. Governor DeWine went on to say, "We now have this Delta variant that is everywhere in Ohio, as Dr. Vanderhoff a month ago predicted. So we are now seeing what was predicted by our top medical officials in the state of Ohio a month ago." Here's some information for you, all current as of January 1st, 2021, according to Governor DeWine today in the Ohio Department of Health in this morning's press conference. The total hospitalizations that we have seen since January 1st, 18,662. The total hospitalizations among people who are not fully vaccinated, out of those, 18,367. Hospitalizations among people who are fully vaccinated, 295. Looking at those numbers, Governor DeWine reiterated the name of the game today is vaccines. This is where we win. This is where we don't win. So Dr. Vanderhoff went on to say 3 key things about the Delta variant. He said, first, it is absolutely more contagious. He says that simply means that it takes less of the virus to go from an infected person's nose and mouth to go to another person's nose and mouth. So less virus to infect someone else. We also know that it's more contagious than the common cold or flu. Here's a quote from him. Delta is now more dangerous than prior versions of the virus. We now have data from Canada and from Scotland that show people infected with the Delta variant have a much higher likelihood of needing to be hospitalized. Third, he said, there is mounting evidence that the viral loads associated with the Delta variant are higher than what we saw with previous strains of COVID-19. What that means is that Delta is reproducing itself, creating more copies of itself much more quickly once it gets inside of our body. So based on those 3 facts, what the doctor is saying is it takes less of it to actually get into someone else's body, and then once it's there, it's replicating more quickly, creating more copies than previous versions of COVID-19. Now, in an effort to counter this ongoing spread of COVID-19 here in Ohio, Governor DeWine is repeatedly urging Ohioans to get vaccinated. Here's a quote from him. The essential fact is that we have 3 vaccines that are highly, highly effective. They're so powerful that we now live in a state with 2 groups of people, those who are vaccinated and those who are not vaccinated. Now, our Verify team did a comparison of the Lambda variant and the Delta variant. The question that they kept seeing coming up on social media, is it true that the Lambda variant is more deadly and more progressive than the Delta variant? So to answer this question, they went to the sources Dr. Anna Durbin, who's an international health expert from Johns Hopkins University, also Matthew Freeman, a PhD, a coronavirus expert from the University of Maryland School of Medicine, and also data from the Centers for Disease Control. The answer that they looked at is they can't say for sure right now how the Lambda variant compares to the Delta variant. Dr. Durbin says, I don't think we have enough data on Lambda quite yet, but both of the experts agree that there's not enough information on the Lambda variant yet to say if it's more deadly or more progressive than the Delta variant. So here's what they do know. Matthew Freeman says it was first identified in Peru and has been spreading around South America. There's a couple hundred cases of it identified in the United States right now. Both experts so far say that Lambda has not spread as quickly as the Delta variant in the U.S. And of the few cases that we have seen here in the U.S., it hasn't yet been shown to be deadlier than the Delta variant. But at this point, the CDC has not labeled the Lambda variant a variant of concern, but the experts do warn that could change as more data comes in. And if there's one thing that we're learning throughout this entire process of dealing with COVID-19 is that things change very quickly. And sometimes the more things change, the more they remain the same. And what we are seeing now is a very similar story. We're seeing stores going back to mask mandates. We're seeing that across the country in chains that run across the country, and how that's playing out here in Ohio is there are lots of places requiring employees and recommending for the public that masks be worn. So not a requirement at a lot of places just yet for masks to be worn regardless of vaccination status, but places like Giant Eagle, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, and Starbucks are all requiring it of their employees and strongly recommending it for people to come inside. Now, McDonald's is one of the companies that has taken it a step further. At McDonald's, all customers and employees have to wear a mask at locations with either high or substantial rates of COVID-19 transmission, and a face covering is required at McDonald's outlets nationwide for unvaccinated patrons and crews and members. Now, not sure how McDonald's is planning on policing that for the unvaccinated people, because as we have seen, it seems to be that unvaccinated people who aren't required to wear masks aren't necessarily always doing that. Now here in Ohio, in Cuyahoga County, in county buildings, all employees and the public, regardless of vaccination status, have to wear a mask. And it's strongly recommended across the county in other places, but not required. Here's another similar story. Michael Buble is postponing his August tour dates here in Cleveland, rescheduling his Cleveland stop now for August 21st. Today, he announced he's postponing the remaining August dates on his tour, not just here in Ohio, but the remaining August dates on his tour. His tour is An Evening with Michael Buble. Now, it was previously scheduled for August 21st here in Cleveland at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, but because of the growing concerns because of COVID-19 and how the Delta variant is spreading, to use Governor DeWine's words, like wildfire across the state and across the U.S., he has now rescheduled that concert for Thursday, August 21st. Now, they do say that all previously purchased tickets for that August 21st show will be honored, rescheduled to the October 21st show. Here's what Michael Buble said himself. I do not want to put my fans at risk, nor my band and crew, by putting them in a situation that could possibly affect their health and therefore their friends and family. It is better for me to reschedule these shows to a time when all of us are confident that we can relax and enjoy the show. Now, this is at least the second time that we've seen a rescheduling from Michael Buble. He had previously postponed his tour, which was planned in 2020 for this August date, now looking at October. Now, switching gears to someone who caught the attention of America. She goes by Nightbirde, and she's an Ohio native. Her real name, her legal name, Jane Marczewski. She announced on Monday that she is leaving America's Got Talent because her fight with cancer is demanding all of her energy and attention. So now, thousands of people have donated to a GoFundMe page to help her pay for her cancer treatment. And she wrote on the page, she says, "It pains me to ask again for money, but I ask as Moses did when he needed water and he spoke to the rock, as the friend banging on his neighbor's door asking for bread in the night, not because I am entitled to your help, but because I desperately need it." Now, she had asked for around $30,000 to $40,000 on the GoFundMe page. As of 2 p.m. today, almost $400,000 have been raised on that GoFundMe page to help Nightbirde pay for those cancer treatments. And she is hopeful. She had previously said that she believes her story is far from over. She just needs a little more to get through to the other side, and that she is writing her future, not her legacy. Obviously, we wish her well. Zanesville native Nightbirde Jane Marczewski, and we hope to see what you continue to do after you get through this round and these treatments. And on that note, it is Friday, and this is the perfect time for a good news break. You know, we have our good news show. It's called It's All Good News. It drops every Tuesday on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Every Tuesday on Wednesday. It drops every Wednesday on YouTube at 1 p.m. This week, a couple of my favorite stories from the good news show include a ring that was found and returned to its owner after being missing for 2 years, and this ring had really special meaning to this woman. It's a beautiful story, and you can see the emotion in her face when she gets the ring back. You have to see that one. Also, a woman who is reinventing herself later in life, and it has to do with Chuck Norris. Yes, that Chuck Norris. So if you want to catch that, that's on the WKYC YouTube page, youtube.com/user/WKYC-TV. It's also on WKYC.com. And if you go to WKYC.com/itsallgoodnews, you can find all of our good news shows, which I recommend you do because they are a great little pick-me-up. Speaking of a pick-me-up and exciting news, you know our Olmsted Falls native Katie Nageotte won gold in the pole vault this week at the Tokyo Olympics. She was channeling LeBron James after that moment. If you remember back in 2016, LeBron James yelled out, "Cleveland, this is for you," when the Cavs won against the Golden State Warriors to win the 2016 NBA Finals. Well, Katie Nageotte repeated that phrase yesterday after she won her gold medal in the Tokyo Olympics. She looked right into the camera and she said, "Cleveland, this is for you," having her own LBJ moment. Now, it was very early on Thursday morning when Katie Nageotte cleared the pole vault at 4.9 meters to bring home the gold, the only competitor who did it at that height. Congratulations to her. She will be having a meet and greet here in Northeast Ohio on August 13th on Friday. We'll bring you more details as that become available. And the Tribe has invited her to throw out the first pitch at an upcoming game. So you might see her there as well. We'll see what they have to say about that, but they did tweet out that invitation to her. And if you are in the market for any new clothes or school supplies, this is a great weekend for you. It's tax-free weekend in Ohio. We've got a whole breakdown on WKYC.com of what's included so that you can save some money. The way this works is between now and 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, August 8th, you won't be charged sales tax on certain things. That includes clothing that's priced at $75 or less, school supplies priced at $20 or less, and instructional material priced at $20 or less. There are some provisions and things that qualify and things that don't. Here's a couple things that don't qualify that I thought were pretty interesting that we should share. Belt buckles sold separately, don't qualify as clothing. Costume masks sold separately, don't qualify as clothing. They do distinctively say sold separately too, by the way, so I don't know if you're getting bulk costume masks, if that does qualify, but regardless. Costume masks sold separately, not included, and neither are patches and emblems sold separately. For more of the things that do and don't qualify, just head to WKYC.com and get yourself stocked up on this tax-free weekend in Ohio as we prepare to get our little ones across the state back to school. That's it for your 3 News Now update today for Friday, August 6th. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday with more 3 News Now.